Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the new indictments just returned yesterday in Arizona against 18 people for the phony elector activity there. So, it's like Fulton County. And I want to start by saying, we've gotten a little used to it. It's like, oh, more false electors. This is serious business. If you just stop and think about it, it's only within one state, but it was a concerted effort to steal the election in Arizona. And it was by a group of electors who were particularly brazen about it, even kind of celebratory about it, kind of were doing a little jig after they had done it. They, blatantly mischaracterized their activity and said they were for Trump, and they were the duly elected electors from the state, and it was connected, at least with some of them, with the plot that John Eastman had hatched to have Pence, read the wrong certificates come January 6th. It's been a couple years, well, actually about a year, that the attorney, and this is right by the Attorney General, by the way, so it's similar facts as in Georgia, but as in Michigan, where this is also happening, it's the statewide officer, which I think gives it a little bit more oomph because it's a matter of corruption of the state electoral law. What's big here, and I believe in contrast to Michigan, well, first, there's unindicted co-conspirator number one. That would be Donald Trump, the former president of the United States. So he is a co-conspirator here, and the evidence put out in the indictment has him, talking to some of the electors. It also has some really killer emails that make it clear that they know what they're doing. But then there's a group of 7, and they are the sort of Washington types around Trump. So there's 11 electors in Arizona, and they're distinctive to me because, they're going to want to have futures in the state. They're Republican officials. They are, I think, really ripe for cooperating and pleading, but they can give some information about the central folks, and some apparently even Trump. But then there are the 7, and there's some, greatest hits: Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, John Eastman. Ken Chesebro, interestingly, is unindicted co-conspirator. He apparently cooperated here. But Boris Epshteyn, the lawyer that everybody loves to hate, even in Trump world, he draws his first indictment. Just going to Ellis and Giuliani, Giuliani would appear to be flat broke, and on the other end of a huge defamation judgment in Georgia from the 2 election workers that he defamed. Jenna Ellis has been, complaining about not getting any money from Trump. She's pleaded guilty in Georgia, and yet she didn't stitch up the charges here. And she's got, I think, a GoFundMe site for her legal expenses. So this is, another big hit that maybe they are not going to be able to afford. So it's all by way of saying this group of 7, A, could turn against one another, which is a favorable dynamic. Who's going to say what about Epstein and what about Giuliani and the like? But B, could be, really in a very difficult spot and needing to cooperate. Moreover, Giuliani's license has already been yanked. Jenna Ellis barely preserved hers, but a felony conviction here, and this is a felony class 2. For all of them would likely be the end of her ability to practice law. The charges look to carry about a 4 to 7 year. That would be the kind of standard sentence given out. I've spoken to some lawyers in Arizona about it. It doesn't look like it'll happen, that the trial could happen this year. But remember, this is like Fulton County. Oh, Mark Meadows also. Mark Meadows is, who had been skating through the raindrops before Fulton County, now takes another serious hit. And the thing about guys like Ellis and Giuliani and Meadows, Trump arguably can make state prosecutions go away for himself if he becomes president. I think the Supreme Court would discern a principle that a sitting president can't be made to answer a state criminal prosecution. I don't see that would apply, though, to Jenna Ellis and Rudy Giuliani and others in the circle, meaning that even if Trump wins, I think these guys are in the soup and, double strength between Georgia and Arizona. So this is real in the sense of a serious assault on democracy, but real also in the sense of a serious threat to some of the most culpable actors in the whole post-election period. And, in particular, Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows, who, probably knows more where the bodies are buried with respect to Trump than anyone. And if he's looking at serious state time, and we have an unindicted co-conspirator who, by the way, could become an indicted co-conspirator, depending on what evidence develops, what will be the sort of pressures and leverage on a guy like Mark Meadows. So pretty big development, and one that, again, for that group of 7 won't be going away. And we'll see. I think it won't be immediate, but I think you may see a pleas among the lower state involved groups only, and more pressure on the higher up, and potentially even there are roots here from some of the defendants to Donald Trump. So, like Fulton County, or Michigan, but in some ways the evidence is really solid. There's a video where they just look like brazen jackasses. And the overall group of co-conspirators includes, a lot of the really most serious actors, and including Boris Epshteyn here for the first time. So that's going places, though it'll take a while. I don't see it, from talking to people in Arizona, going anywhere in 2024, but I don't see it going away either, and especially for that group of serious actors around Trump, even if he were to become president. Talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.